Next up, we have Dance Fever by Florence the Machine. 14 songs, 47 minutes long. Also, another thing on the Apple Music shit, there's a Apple Music version of Dance Fever as well, and it has, I think, one extra track and some like videos and stuff with some of the tracks. So a little bit different, but I'm just do the Spotify version, the normal version, because not everybody has Tim Cook software. So some of us are stuck with it because
Yeah, and
we fly shit.
Apple Music on uh Android, garbage experience.
It really is. But
But
anyways, Florence and the Machine, they've been a band for quite some time. They English band that they blew up with their debut record of Lunds in 2009. We did review their last record, which was
highest hope, right?
Highest Hope, I believe. That was in 2018. Yeah, 2018. There you go. And I liked that record. There was some stuff I thought that it could be better and whatnot, but overall I did like it. They do take their time between records, which I do enjoy. And I think Dance Fever is an accumulation of all the stuff that they have released in the past about 10 years or so, um, put into a record. So you have a lot of things that sound like Lunds, but you have a lot of things that'll sound like High as Hope and some other things, and you'll get a lot of almost like a compilation record. But I'm trying not to make it sound it in a bad way, but they really refined their sound to now be able to say, hey, like this, what does a Florence and the Machine record sound like? Dance Fever is a good one to go to. Like this is what they sound like. They, example, Florence's voice, fucking one of my favorite voices in the music industry. Absolutely gorgeous. Still hits. Keen is like the prevalent son of what does Florence the Machine sound like? You give him the Keen. Beautiful. I really love the way uh they layer the vocals on it, the really understated drums and stuff in the background until it crescendos and explodes in this beautiful track towards the end. Really, really enjoy that. But they actually experiment a little bit. They have some different sounding stuff. Like you get with Free, it's like this upbeat, almost electronic sounding stuff, but have like a violin in the background and some other things, and it's a little different compared to some of their other stuff, but it's still like this is Florence and the Machine. So for a group who has been together for a long time, I'm glad that they take their time between records and it shows. And I really enjoyed this listen. I want to listen to this more actually to really get into it. I only got one solid listen through, 1.5 listens through. So I want to get like 4 or 5 listens to really, really get my full opinion on it. But we only have 3 days since it came out Friday. But I think this is such a step in the right direction for them. I love the third track. I can never say Choreomania.
You
If
got it
I could bring
perfectly.
it. Holy shit, Sean said something right for once.
Yeah,
I like it
that's
because
amazing.
yeah, right. It's a first. I really like the electronicas they bring on this, like the really cool bass line in the middle. Where it's like messing with the tone on the bass and popping it up, and then again, it's kind of crescendoing a little bit, but it's still like a slow build into it, which I really like.
It reminds me of the synth that was kind of added to alternative music in the early, to like the mid to late 2000s, kind of like in Gorillaz Demon days, where it wasn't
Yeah,
quite like
yeah,
the point where it became so much of its own instrument that became like, um, M83. It was just a major part of the
yeah,
sound,
yeah.
but it's just complementing it. It feels like it's doing that, but now it's almost like a folk song because
Exactly.
and it's one of the cooler things I've heard lately. And it's like I'm not again. We're not sure my like Americana like to folk like to the like further stage thing. Not sure if that's going to happen, but I think this is one of those cases where you blend those a little bit together with an artist who really knows what they're doing in that sense, and you get stuff that sounds really beautiful.
Yeah, and you do. And after those first 3 tracks, you get Back in Town, which slows it down a little bit. And I'm glad this is the day of like track placements. I really like the way I really like the way that they all together put the record together because it picks up, it slows down, it picks up, it slows down. So you're not left wanting more. You're not left like getting bored. There's not really throwaway tracks in this, even though there's a longer record with 14 songs. But because some of them are short and whatnot, I don't think there's maybe only 1 or 2 songs that go over 4 minutes. Um, that you can really get through this and just listen to it straight down and it flows. I really like that. And it slows down a little bit with Back in Town, Girls Against God. I actually really like that track. It's really, really prevalent. And then Dream Girl Evil is so really funny, like the way it is. Just like set it back and forth, but that picks it up right there. But again, I love the way that they add the synths along with almost like an alternative rock song with that. So you get a lot of Americana, a lot of folk, a lot of alt rock in here, but again, they still go together. One song doesn't necessarily pull too much from one genre than the other because they still all go to well together. So um, pulling on a bunch of sounds that we like and grew up with in the late aughts and early 2010s that I think they really refined with this, and I think other bands have tried but never got it right because they just kind of copied the sound. They copied the sound of Jai Paul, they copied the sound of M83. Florence and the Machine got that sound and brought it into Americana and folk, which no one does. It's very
Yeah.
different, unique, and I'm actually excited to see how the hell they do that live because I've seen like Florence and the Machine live and stuff. I've heard how they sound live, and it's very folksy. It's Americana. It's flowy. Florence is really dancing around the stage on a carpet barefoot and shit and fairies in the air and everything. And it's you could picture it with how they release records. But this one, I'm like, how are they going to do half of these tracks? Because it's very different in that way. But then you got like in the middle of the record, you have your prayer factor, Cassandra, fantastic track, where you get more of your tried and true Florence and the Machine, and then you get Heaven is Here, Daffodil, My Love too, which are great tracks. I
My
really
Love
like
is
Heaven is
like
Here.
really poppy, but also really dancey. It's kind of like an amazing pivot for Florence and the Machine
Yep,
that they stick the landing on very, very well.
exactly.
I I was really surprised. Like this, did Florence and the Machine make a pop track? Like it was
Yeah.
really very, very good.
And it fits within the record too. Like if you listen to Keen and then listen to My Love and that's all you have, you're like, what the hell is this record? But if you have all that space in between all those tracks, interlude tracks and stuff together, it fits. It fits the theme, it fits the mood. Again, this is why I like to say this is the most complete record I think they've done, the most complete project. They've really combined all of the ideas, all the sounds that they have done or that they've experimented with for 10 plus years and put it into a record that's fantastic. Yeah, My
Yeah,
Love is really good. I like how it's the only thing I hate is just the snap thing, but I will
snap
call
clap, gotta
anybody
love it.
out who fucking does that.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I really like it. Overall, I would give it on the arbitrary scale a. Mm, what would you give it?
I think this is a mid to late 2017.
That's good. I was either gonna give it a 2017 or a 2018. I'm not gonna say it's 2018 because there's still some like parts where I go, like whatever.
Because with this album needs to I need to let that one marinate there for you, bud. This album needs to marinate for me. It's one of those where there's a lot of different sounds, and that again, as I said earlier, I want to have 5, 6 listens to this. So, towards the end of the record, because this is on my short list for alt slash Americana record of the year, whatever categories we make for Audioface, because we're always changing our shit because why not? It's definitely gonna be on my short list for that. And the more and more I listen to it, the more my opinions will develop. But for the first, 1.5 listens, I think it's a really good record. I think that, you know, it's nice to see old bands be able to do new stuff. I'm looking at you, Black Keys.